with this I will end, and we have Brother Nasir who will introduce Mayor, Salt Lake County Mayor Ben MxAdams.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair, Sheikh. It's a very nice sermon. I have a few quick announcements, and then I would like to introduce a good friend of our community and a good leader of our community, Mayor Ben MxAdams. So, Mayor MxAdams, if I would like, please come to the stage. So Mayor MxAdams is going to give us a quick speech, and we will open up for a few questions. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Nasir. Thank you, Imam. Wonderful sermon. Thank you very much. It is wonderful to be with you today. I'm Salt Lake County Mayor Ben MxAdams, and I work for you. So it's great to be here with you. I wanted to take a minute to just come and visit your mosque, to visit you here on this Friday for a time of prayer, to let you know that you are a very much a valuable and welcome part of our community. It is so disappointing in America today to see so many political leaders who will try to win elections by marginalizing key parts of our community. And that won't happen in my watch. And I like to hope, at least, that Utah's a little bit different. Not that we're immune from persecution and bigotry. We're not. But I hope that we are charting a different course. You know, I'm a Democrat, but I believe in giving credit where credit is earned. And I was very happy to see our governor stand strong, especially when it came to refugees, and stand strong for what's right, that we want to be a community that keeps our doors open, that welcomes people to our community, people who are in need. And I want to thank you for helping those refugees when they come to our country, to help them to find a home and to make this their home, because that's what we wanted them, not to just come here, but we want them to feel comfortable here and to see this as a place where they can raise their families, where they can hold on to their culture and their faith traditions and stay strong in their faith traditions, but feel welcome in this community still the same. This is not a political speech or campaign speech, so I want to not make you feel like that, but I do want to, Nasir and I were talking before, and I wanted to talk to you about the importance of voting. I hope many of you do vote, but that those of you who don't, that you will consider voting for whichever party or whichever candidate best reflects your views, but remember to vote. And I want to tell you a quick story about an experience that I had when I was in law school. They wanted to get some volunteers to go and work on a Native American reservation in South Dakota. And so I went and volunteered for 2 weeks on this Native American reservation. This Native American reservation is one of the poorest areas in America. I've traveled a lot throughout the world and seen some very poor places, and this right here in the United States is probably one of the poorest places I've seen. They didn't have running water, they didn't have sewer, other amenities that we all take for granted. And the government wasn't, they were very frustrated with their government, disaffected, didn't vote because their government wasn't coming to respond to their needs and wasn't helping them with the infrastructure they needed to be healthy, to be safe. And we went out and registered voters on this reservation, and voter turnout was about 10%. Of the people who lived there, about 10% of them would vote. Well, after we registered everybody in the community, and there were several thousand on this reservation, that year we had voter turnout of 93%. And I was just there for 2 weeks, but a friend of mine who was there with me decided that he wanted to make this his mission, to work with this community, to help them be strong. And so he would go back often. And they saw that voter turnout that was 10% stay in the 90% range. You know what happened is within a few years, there was water, and there was sewer, and this infrastructure came in. And those votes weren't enough to sway the election, but our government will listen when you use your voice. And I want you, we're going to listen. I will listen to you even if you don't vote, because that's the community we are, and we want you to know that you're an important part of our community. But I wanted to just give you that message to say that voting matters, that if we want to, our Muslim brothers and sisters to not be neglected or kicked or used as election tools. Voting matters, and people will respond to you raising your voice to vote. Again, want to say thank you for welcoming here. I felt very welcome. I work for you. I'm Salt Lake County Mayor, but my job is to represent you and to make sure that your community knows that while we each have different traditions, different culture, and there are many faith traditions in the Salt Lake Valley, and we respect that, and we want to help you to hold on to the values that are important to your community. But I want you to also know that we are one community, and you are a part of us, and it's my pleasure to serve you and to represent you as mayor. Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
Any questions? Yeah, I know you're thinking questions. Maybe intimidated to ask them.
It's a very good sign.
Thank you. Thank you.
Looks like it.
Nasir wants to ask about cricket fields and when we're going to get cricket fields and stuff. He asks me about that frequently.
Mayor's been very supportive. This is one sport I grew up with. People from subcontinent would know. So if you guys are interested in, come and join us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. It was our pleasure hosting you, and good luck with your campaign.